Has Chad ever gotten forceful with you with sex? Like, have you ever felt raped or felt like he pressured you to do any sexual acts that you didn't want to do?
Yeah. If I was ever sick, which there was a period of time where I was sick a lot, or I had surgery or whatever, I would be feeling terrible, and he would still, like, make me do things for him. He did that a lot, like a lot.
And what would he
Yeah.
make you do?
He would grab my hand and just, like, put it on him, and then I would be like, I'm in so much pain and I'm not supposed to be moving, like, I can't do that right now. And then every single time I would end up doing something for him. And yeah, that's actually happened a lot.
What was the surgery for?
I have endometriosis, so I would get, like, surgery in my uterus, basically.
And then he would forcefully grab your hand and make you masturbate him?
He would, like, grab my hand and put it there, and I would say no, and he would keep doing it.
And uncompassionate for you just having surgery also.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely zero empathy, like, from him ever for anything.
Does Chad have any homosexual interests that you're seeing?
He gets weird whenever I've brought it up before, but...
What have you brought up in the past?
We just, like, we would be casually talking about it, or I'd be like, you've never kissed a guy, or, like, have you ever wanted to hook up with a guy, or, like, we recently started doing certain things. He has so many, like, cock rings and penis pumps and all of that stuff, and recently he told me that he had never, like, had someone put a finger up his butt, and I was like, what, for real? And he always was super weird about that until I finally did it, and something about it, like, I don't know, he's always been very weird and closed off about, like, talking about it.
Did you ever insert anything else into his butt?
No.
Just your finger?
No.
How much money have you and Chad made from your OnlyFans account?
I really don't know how much money, because probably 3 weeks after we made it, he got drunk one night and changed the password. And he put in his own bank account and transferred all the money to himself. And then was messaging, like, hundreds of other girls trying to get them to collaborate with him on our couples OnlyFans.
And does he even have enough money to buy a mansion for porn in Las Vegas?
As long as I've known him, up until recently, up until he started his OnlyFans and until we started our couples one, which I don't know what's going to happen with that now, he has never had money. He's been always stressed about money, but not really working at all, not doing anything, living off of, like, Instagram sponsorships, basically. There's no way in hell that he's going to buy a mansion in Vegas or even rent one and be able to pay everyone that goes into that, or there's absolutely no way. Also, he just came up with this idea like a week ago, and he tends to do this with everything. So I don't know, maybe probably should have worked on it a little bit before announcing it to the world.
But he doesn't actually have any money to rent or buy a mansion in Las Vegas to do porn in.
Yeah, like probably 2 weeks ago, he had to pay me back for my phone and the hole that he punched in my wall. And it was taking him, like, days and days and days to pay me back because he was like, I don't have any money in my account right now. I'm waiting for this to go through. I'm waiting for this to go through. So even if since then he's gotten money, like, it's not enough to buy a mansion or even put a down payment on one.
How much money did he actually give you that took so long to get to you?
It was like $1,200.
And how long has it taken him to get you that $1,200?
Since the end of February.
Is Chad still abusing alcohol?
Yes, he goes on, like, 2 to 3 day benders, and I mean, though he had a bender, like, last week, and then he had one, like, 5 days before, so, and he is not interested in getting help, he says. I mean, he has a breathalyzer that he always has on him, and he'll be blowing, like, a .4, so he's, like, dead drunk, basically, and I don't know how he's alive, honestly.
Does Chad take steroids?
Yeah.
Have you watched him take steroids?
Yeah. He does different things, and he his personality and mood changes based on what he's taking at the time.
Do you have any restraining order, or is there any order for him not to see you?
Basically, it was sort of up in the air whether or not court was going to put a protective order, like sort of a mandatory one. He never really told me if it was served or not, and I asked him to ask his lawyer. I asked him, to find out. I told him that I had never been served with any sort of notice, because I haven't been. But I was looking into it a couple days ago, and I called around, I called the court and everything, and found out that there is a protective order that was put in place the day that he was in court, and apparently it was served to him, and it was supposed to be served to me. I'm not sure why it wasn't, or why it wasn't mailed to me or anything. So this whole time, from March 17th until now, he's not supposed to have had any contact with me at all. And if he does, he, will probably go to jail for like 3 to 6 months, I think.
Is Chad involved in any illegal activity?
I know that what he was doing with his event was not necessarily ethical. It was a boxing event, and they were getting sponsors, but they were using the sponsor money that was supposed to go toward the event to pay him and his business partner, just like to pay rent and stuff. And that event was marketed as like it was going to charity, but really none of the proceeds were going to go to charity. His only goal in life really is to make money and to have like a good public image, so he will literally do whatever it takes to make that happen.
So he got sponsors for a boxing match, and when the sponsorship money, it was supposed to go to charity, and he was using it because he didn't have money for rent. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, for the event itself, they were advertising it as like a portion of ticket sales will go to XYZ charity, and in reality, he told me that none of the ticket sales were going to go to charity, and so the sponsorship money, him and his business partner, they just used it.
What Bachelor contestant would you consider dating in the future?
I don't even watch The Bachelor. The only reason I know a few names now is because they have reached out to me since they've seen all the stuff with Chad in the media and been really cool to me. So one of the people that messaged me, I believe his name was Tyler, and I can't remember his last name, but I know he was on The Bachelor. He messaged me on Instagram and said something like, if you need anything, let me know, or something like that. It was like around the time that, Chad was arrested and all of that.
So have any reality stars or celebrities reached out trying to flirt with you or hook up with you?
Oh yeah. Once everyone saw that he was arrested for domestic abuse, all these men started messaging me.
Give us the biggest name. Who's the biggest name that reached out to you?
No, wait, I don't want to say.
But there is one name that's the biggest.
Yes. They have like 11 million followers on Instagram, so they're pretty big.
Are they a recording artist?
Yes. What if I end up marrying them?
Oh, you're gonna marry a famous singer?
No, honestly, get me away from anyone that has any sort of anything like Chad. I don't want anyone famous. I'll be famous, but he thinks he is. Hey, this is Annalise Missler, and you're listening to the Domenick Natty Show.